What's up everyone, Warmaday here with another episode of the show Rig on Fire. Today we are gonna take a look at this new killer machine from Nux FX, the Trident. Well, before we go any further, I know, but I need to say again, this is not my first channel, this is my second channel. I have another channel that I speak in Portuguese because I'm from Brazil. So I started this new channel because since I live here in the US, I think makes sense, right? So if you're from Brazil, don't sweat it, there is a link for the same episode in Portuguese on the description below. Let's go to the video. What do we have here? We have the Trident, as I said. And this is a new multi-effects from Nux, and it's super cool and is addressed to the professional live performance, mostly. It's awesome machine for studio as well, but mostly for live performances. This thing has lots of nice and clever ideas for live performance. First of all, if you're familiar with another multi-effects from Nux, they have awesome stuff like the MG400, MG30, and MG300. It's awesome, or even the Cerberus. This guy is a kind of upgraded Cerberus. Besides, looks very close. This one is so much deeper. We have some new stuff here that even MG30 doesn't have it. First of all, they have a brand new algorithm for modeling amplifiers. It calls TSAC 4K. It's different for the previous one. There was the just TSAC. This one is the TSAC 4K. This new algorithm led them to put two DSP inside this machine here. There is two digital signal processors instead one. This algorithm even can emulate the different inputs into the amplifiers. You can, like on a Marshallplex, you can jump the inputs as the real thing with virtual patch cables, or even try to find different channels on the amps like the J700 here that I use. As you can see, I can jump between the low gain input to high gain input and vice versa. And there is some features for live performance here on the here panel. As you can see in the image, you're going to have the effects loop. This effects loop can be in serial or parallel, and you can even control the volume of input and output of the effects loop. And best part, the effects loop can be located in anywhere in the signal flow. Before the amplifier, after the amplifier, you name it. Here I'm going to demonstrate that in a couple of minutes with the Thrasher. The Thrasher is inside the effects loop. This is awesome because when you want to use another effects or other distortion pedals, or even with the 4-method cable, you can use any amplifier and use the preamp into the effects and do a very perfect combination with the effects and your real amplifier. And there is another thing very cool, as you can see on the rear panel, you have the XLR balanced output. You can hook up into the audio interface or in the mixing board live situation, and you can run on the both ways into the mixing board and into your amplifier on the stage, because you're going to have two more unbalanced output. Other thing that I think is very important, you're going to have two MIDI ports, MIDI in and MIDI out. In other words, you can control anything via MIDI with this thing, or you can control this thing with other whatever MIDI controller, or even your computer on a live situation to change the presets for you. For me, this is very important. Things that you don't have even on the MG30 and on the Cerberus. I think I cover almost everything new on this unit. You're going to have distortions, lots of amplifiers, and and you can control the entire thing by the Trident software on your computer via USB. My signal flow for this demo is going to be my solar BOB with EMG pickups. The guitar goes inside the Trident. The Trident goes inside by stereo output, into my audio interface, and that's it. Disclaimer, the video that you're going to watch right now is the same video that I recorded for my channel in Portuguese, and you're going to listen my voice in English over my voice in Portuguese. Otherwise it's gonna be too crazy. Shoot two different videos for two different channels. Thank you for understanding. Let's go to the video. I'll be right back.
Well, I made this preset here called Silas Blues. I'm using an active pickup, but even like that sounds really cool. I use a tube screamer in the front of the twin reverb and a spring reverb. And I think it sounds very bluesy. Yeah, it works very well. Let's jump into another one that I made here called Silas Clouds. It's magical stuff. Very beautiful, right? And let's jump into the hair metal tone that I made here. What did I use here to get this tone? I used a JSAM 800, a compressor, a tube screamer as a boost. After that, a noise gate, the JSAM 800 with a impulse response that came with the factory, and the detune. The detune is a kind of chorus. You can detune in stereo, left and right, the tone of your guitar. You're going to have a very classic 80s chorus and a little reverb room here, and that's it. And let me play a little bit more because I really dig that tone. Very well. Let's see another one. I made this one as well. Chug Monster. It's a Bogner Ubershaw with a tube screaming in the front of the amp. With this impulse response, the VT Wars from the Electric Eye Audio, my own impulse response. There is a noise gate on the beginning of the signal flow and a little bit of equalizer, just a boost in 200k. I cut a little bit the mids just to give more balls and a little room reverb, very short reverb.
Moderno tight.
Yeah, there is another one called Silas Weed Clean. And it's a psychedelic tone, like, you know, 70s stuff. Very cool. Now let's try to use the effects loop. Let's put the effects loop here before the amplifier because I'm going to use the pedal into the virtual amp. Let's turn it off every single virtual pedal here. And I'm just going to keep the noise gate, put the serial effects loop. I don't want to mess up with the volume right now. And let's engage the pedal. The amp, let me put the less gain here, decrease the bias. As you can see, the Thrasher, it is into the effects loop of the Trident. Let's start it. Let's turn on the pedal first, of course. Too loud, let's decrease the volume here on the pedal. Let's set up the noise gate. Now we are talking. I don't want this reverb, even the delay. I need a metal tone here. I'm going to use a little room again. Let me swap the reverb type. Now it's good. I think that's it. Well, let's swap this impulse response. Let's use a responsible impulse response. Shit! The Thrasher is into the Vibro King here. Let me tweak a little bit the equalizer here. Let me decrease the bass on the pedal a little bit. This pedal has lots of gain and I don't need a boost. Let me try another impulse response. Let's try this Mesa Boogie 4x12. Let me replace this microphone to the middle position here. Almost forgot. As I said, it's possible to swap the input of the amp. Now I'm going to have more headroom for my pedal. Now it's very good. So, if I turn off the Thrasher, I'm going to have the clean sound of the amp. So, this is very cool because I can mix the virtual stuff with the real stuff. It's super cool. Let's put a little delay here for some solos and see what happens. Let me try the last thing here. I'm going to turn off the virtual amp and use the pedal as a preamp. This is a preamp pedal. If you want to know more about the Thrasher, link on the description.
So, as you can see, awesome, right? Lots of nice stuff here. I think for live applications or even studio, it's amazing. You can load whatever you want when you're talking about impulse responses, and you're going to have my presets when you buy this shit. I think it's a really awesome piece of gear, and I think that's it. I hope you guys like this video. I'm going to leave the link for a Nux website if you want to know more their stuff or even the Trident. And I think that's it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up. If you don't know yet, this is my last video from my last album that I'm going to release now in 2023. This is my last single, Heavy Droids. Links on the description. Show some love, go there, spread the word. Thanks for watching. See you next time.